What is up, guys? We are back, and today, if you couldn't tell already, we're out on the Bonneville Salt Flats of good old Utah. Today I'm going to be going over the 1 year of ownership I've had with this beautiful piece of machinery. It's been great. It's been such a sweet truck. But in today's video, I'm going to be going over kind of some of the things I've done with the truck since I got it, some of the adventures I've been on, and stuff like that. All right, so I'm a little over a year on the ownership of this truck, and I've honestly, like I was saying earlier, I've really loved it. It's been a great truck. I highly recommend it to anybody who gets these. Sorry for the dirtiness of the truck, by the way. We've had some really bad rainstorms over the past few days, and we had one yesterday, so I didn't bother washing the truck, and I knew we were gonna come out here, and as you can kind of see, salt gets everywhere when you come out to the beautiful salt flats that we have here. But going down the truck, I'll just go over a few things. So as you can see, I don't have any running boards on the truck. For those of you who have kind of paid attention to my channel, I have a video of off-roading gone wrong in my channel. I'll leave a link to it, but definitely check it out. It's a fun little video. I took this truck down a four-wheeler with trail, and it didn't pan out very well. So there are some hidden scratches you can't really see, and I ended up crushing one of my running boards while off-roading. It was a great experience I'll never do again, but the truck handled other than that well, really well off-roading. So that's one thing I'm really impressed with this truck, is the off-roading handles well, and with the size of the truck, it maneuvers really well. All right, so one of the first things I did on the truck was put a 2-inch leveling kit by Ready Lift on it. I want to say it was about 300 bucks. I'll try and link it in the remember to link it in the description. That way you guys, because that's one big question that I've been asked a lot on this truck, is what's your, what are your specs on what you did with everything. And then for the tires, I decided to go with the DuraTrack Goodyear. I'll be doing another video on the review of how these tires have been since I got them. I do really like them though. They fit the aggressive look I want. And yes, eventually I am going to be upgrading to a bigger lift kit. I've just seen too many of these with lift kits and they look phenomenal. So if you're wanting to go with a budget kit of some kind to get your truck up a little bit higher, I highly recommend just doing the 2-inch leveling kit from Ready Lift, getting rid of your running boards and your air dam that's on the initial stock bumper, and that'll give you, I want to say, like 2 to 4 inches of clearance or fake clearance, and it does make the truck look a lot better just by doing that. If you want to start off with a very light, cheap budget lift look, after that, then you can save up your pennies and you can go for a bigger lift kit, which is what my goal is. All right, so before I go into a little bit more detail on the things I've done to the truck, I do want to talk a little bit about the gas mileage. When I first got this truck, I think I was anywhere from 21 to 24 miles per gallon, stock, nothing done to it, driving like a respectable human. Once I started doing things to the truck, such as the bumper, the grille, the bigger tires that are more knobby, and the wheels that I did, and just all the different modifications you start doing to a truck, you're throwing off the aerodynamics and changing the aerodynamics. So that's when my gas mileage started to go down. So right about now, I'm averaging anywhere on a good day, we'll say 17.5 miles per gallon on a road trip where I'm going the speed limit and I'm using cruise control as much as possible on a flat road. My average around town is anywhere from 15 to 16, and that doesn't really help me with gas prices going up. So as I told you guys in the video where I went off-roading, I took some damage. One of the things that got damaged that's no longer on here was the stock lower bumper. And what I ended up doing with that is just getting rid of it and getting one of these awesome Fab Fours ink bumpers. And I love this bumper. It's been solid. It's like super easy to bolt on. I have a video on how to install this bumper on my channel, so if you're looking for one of these, I highly recommend you check out my video. It's gonna help make the whole process a lot easier for me. I think for me, just going into it completely blind and while filming and all that, it took me pretty much all day, but hopefully with the video, it'll make your life a whole lot easier. So yeah, the 5/4 bumper, this thing weighs about 65 pounds. It's solid. It's been a great purchase so far. I'll probably do a review on that in a separate video, but highly recommend this bumper. It's one of the main modifications I did after the first bumper got all screwed up. Then I went with the Chevrolet, different Chevrolet grill. I actually found this on Amazon. If I can, I'll link the bumper, a link to the bumper on their website and the Grille that I found on Amazon, if I can review my purchases. This has been a great bumper. It's not super expensive. I want to say it was maybe $100 or something like that. And to wire it up was super easy as well. I had my buddy Adam help me. We wired it to the running lights so that every time my running lights are on, these are on. Right now they're off just because they time out after a certain point. But it's been a really good bumper. It's solid, nothing's broke. It's pretty easy to install and put together. I will say when you attach the Fab Fours bumper though, you do drill into this, and it is a little bit weaker of a plastic, so I highly recommend don't rush the process when you're drilling through it, just to kind of help you protect it from breaking, anything like that. But these two things have definitely, I would say it doesn't change how cool it keeps your engine. It will keep your engine cool about the same as the other Grille if you do decide to swap it out. I haven't noticed a change in that, but it does, once again, change the aerodynamics of it and may reduce your gas mileage. So just keep that in mind. All right, so some of the things I want to go over, just kind of, I did a video a little while back of the things I like versus the things I dislike, and I want to kind of continue on that now that I've had the vehicle for a bit longer. Honestly, the things that I don't like are, once again, some of them are going to be the same as that video, but kind of incorporated and updated where I am now, is the narrow wheel wells. It makes it hard to go bigger, and that's why usually so many people get lifts, is to get it up higher so they can get the bigger tires and wheels under there, and it makes it hard with just the 2-inch leveling kit. I've been able to do it and make it work. Part of getting that new Fab 4 bumper did open it up so it doesn't rub nearly as bad or at all on the front. So that's been one thing I've disliked, is the narrow wheel wells. Other than that, I mean, for the most part, everything's run really well. One thing is when it gets down, when you get low on gas and it's like, hey, you need to get gas. One thing I really like is that it says you have this many miles till empty. Now the problem I do have is at a certain point, it's right around, I want to say 30 miles until empty or 25 miles until empty. It stops telling you, it just says get gas, which is probably a good thing in some ways, but other ways it's like, hey, keep showing me that number, because if I'm in an area like this and I don't know when the next gas station is going to be, it would be nice to know, okay, I have this many miles till empty. I have this many miles till the next gas station. So it would be nice to be able to see it go all the way down to 0, but you can't have everything, right? It's even for the crew cab, for it being the full size, it's still a pretty small cab. And I know it's a mid-sized truck, but I think they could have done, I mean, 6 inches more in cab room would have made a huge difference. So I will say that it's still a pretty tight cab, even though it's the full-size cab. That's another dislike. And then I would say one of my last dislikes is that there's no bed liner, which is something I could have got, but at the time didn't really have the money to afford that extra piece. So I am going to get it the spray-in bed liner, which I think will make a huge difference and protect it a lot more. And then I guess one other thing would be the low clearance it comes with stock. I feel like it's a truck, it needs to sit up higher, and it should sit up higher, and it shouldn't have such a low clearance. But like I said, just by removing the air dam on the front of your truck, you can save yourself at least 2 to 3 inches just by doing that, and taking off the running boards or changing up the running boards. So those are my dislikes, I would say, for the truck. It's got a great sound system. The seats are actually decently comfortable. Like all car seats, I feel like it's unavoidable when you go on a long road trip, your butt's gonna start to hurt eventually. So as far as that goes, that's kind of just one of the other problems I have. Likes, love the way it drives. The 4-wheel drive works super awesome. The lights work super awesome. It runs super awesome. I've had cars where you start them up, and even though it sounds like that's how it's supposed to sound, it just doesn't sound right. Or I've had cars where they've got special transmissions in them, and you just can tell that it just doesn't feel right. And so it makes me nervous, makes me want to get rid of a car when it does that. This truck doesn't do that. The truck runs great, the transmission shifts smoothly, everything that runs about this vehicle is smooth. The heated seats are nice. I like the look of the seats as well. The seats have this leather / cloth combination, and I think it looks really good. The storage on the truck, they've got some under seat storage, which is really nice. The seats that fold down, when they fold down, are super, super nice because they're actually flat. I've had a lot of cars where you lay the seats down and they're still at an angle, whereas here, when you lay them down, they're flat and they stay flat, and it's really nice. I will say on the cargo space under the seats, it is a little small, so like you can't fit necessarily a bunch of things under there. Like if you collapsed a fishing pole, you might be able to, but I feel like they could have done a little bit better on the cargo space under the seat. But all in all, that storage is still nice. In the back seat, behind the center console in the back, they have charging ports, cigarette lighter charging ports, and USB. So that makes it really nice for the people riding in the back. You don't have to charge it from all the way in the front. You can charge it from the back, and it's nice. They've got the center fold down for drinks, also nice. Overall, I honestly think I'd rate this truck 9 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, right around there. It's a solid truck. It's really good. It's not perfect, but I don't think there's a vehicle that is. I definitely would say that this is very comparable to a Tacoma. I think price-wise it's comparable to a Tacoma. I think you just see a lot of people roll with the Tacomas because they're so popular. There's just a very popular, well-known truck. Everyone's like, I want a Taco. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not disappointed with a Colorado, and I would pick a Colorado as much as I would pick a Tacoma. And that's not just a biased opinion, that's a truthful opinion. I've met a lot of people with both. I've talked to a lot of people with both. I've rode in both, and I still think I would easily as pick a Colorado as I would a Tacoma. So I'd say they're about equal. So on kind of the other things I was talking about, one other thing I have found is I really do like taking this truck on long road trips. It gets a lot of attention on the road. I get waves. I've had a few people follow me with the sticker tags on there. I've driven to a lot of states now. I've driven from Utah to Arizona twice, I believe. I've driven from Utah to Nevada, Utah to California, or from Nevada to California, and then I've driven to Wyoming and Nebraska. I've driven a lot of places with this. Idaho is another one, and it's definitely a truck that is comfortable on those long road trips. All right, guys, thanks for coming out and watch. Always remember, guys, take what you can and get... Oh,